Hey, hi everybody. In this episode, I clean a copy of What If number 4. I was going to fix the spine, but it ended up being too fragile and already partially torn, so I decided not to fix the spine, but I clean it and I press it, and I give an example of 2 of the products that I sell on my website. The first one is a pressing plate, which is just a sheet of aluminum. There's nothing special about it. It's just 5052 aircraft grade aluminum. It helps in a couple ways. One is that it provides a heat sink on the bottom of a plate. So I preheat these typically so that there's heat on both sides of the book at once that keep it nice and flat. And the other thing I do is I often use a chamfered pressing board. Now this is a very, very thick comic book backing board that I've specially formed to make the cover so when you press it, there's no line in it, and it has a natural lie to it. So a lot of times when people press, there'll be a little line right here. It looks kind of funny. You can always tell when someone's pressing. This gives it a more natural lie to it, and they're surprisingly difficult to make. I'll put a picture of how I do it, as I have to soak the end of the board in a saltwater solution, and then I have a polishing wheel with a diamond spray that I have to, once it's wet, I will sand it to a specific size, and then I will put it in an oven and heat it back in a little form that I made. And even then, it takes me about 6 tries to make one that I actually like. So every time I make one of these, I have to throw about 5 of them out. So they're surprisingly difficult to make. I'm sure there's a better way, and some of you may come up with one. I also show you some photos of some examples that people have sent me of one of the tricks that I use, where if the cover is coming up when you press a book, if the cover starts to peel up like this, and some of my customers have been showing me this, what you do is you just put some deionized water with a makeup pad on the bottom side of it, let that dry, and press it again, and it'll come completely flat out. So if the book is starting to get wavy or come up after you've been doing some cleaning, thanks to Stephen Nathan for sending me these photos. I'll let you check out a few of these photos here so you can see some examples of the books that he's cleaned, and then we'll get on with the video. So I hope you enjoy. Take care. Bye-bye. See ya. Those that want to skip the rest of the video, just see the before and after. Here's the dirt. Look in that blue box. That's the dirt that I'm removing from this book in the front. And then we'll go to the back page. We got some dirt there too. You see the dirt in that red box there, and it looks a little cleaner, a little brighter, and that's essentially our task for today. So in this case, we have a What If number 4. What if the alien costume, which was now known as a symbiote, had possessed Spider-Man in the old Web of Spider-Man font, no less. This book's got some problems. We have a rusty staple. We have a rolled spine. We have dirt and waviness here. And we're going to see what we can do to fix it. We're going to use our cleaner. We're going to use some pressing sheets and some chamfered boards and aluminum pressing plate. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is, I'm not going to steam this or anything. I'm going to get some of this dirt off the surface. So dirt here, dirt very wrinkly. It's a pretty bad book, actually. I'm going to put one of my boards underneath it here, and then I'm just going to lightly wipe this dirt away. Now if I were to dry clean this, I would most likely press that dirt into the surface. That would remove some of it, but I would also make some of it a little bit worse. And this is coming out. You can see how much dirt we've taken off this book here. There's quite a bit still here, but we'll get it. So I will, once it soaks for a minute, it often gets more out. So I'm going to remove this dirt here. That may not come out easy. I get that out. I will get that out later, possibly with other solutions. But you will see. I will get it. And then we'll do the other side, which I don't expect to be it. This has got some black mold on it. If you want to send me books and have me remove black mold for you, I can do that. There we go.
I can at least kill the black mold. Removing, I might charge more than you want to pay for that, but all right. So now we see this corner here where it's kind of darker colored. We're going to get that off too here in a second. So I'm going to use this material, and then I'm going to adjust. This will be whiter when I'm done. You'll see. It won't look at it like it right now, but it'll be a lot better when I'm finished. In fact, I'll do the whole Spider-Man box area. This will look quite a bit better when we're finished. Then I'm going to actually do a little bit on the staple here to get some of that rust off. And additionally, we are going to do the back of this book right along the border here, which is what people really notice. This is the part that says hello when you're trying to see if a book is clean or dirty. And we'll kill some of this mold right here. And then we're going to let it air dry for a little while. See what we can do to fix this up. So I was going to fix the spine on this book, but I am no longer going to do that because it's got a tear here, and I think that if I attempt to fix the spine, it will only make things worse. So I'm not going to do that. I got to put the other part of my cleaner here, and I'm going to just rub it on here to stop the action of the first cleaner. So this just stops it. So I don't want it to make the paper brittle. And then we will see how it looks when we're done. But I suspect it will look a lot better. Yeah, this thing does not look great. The paper's much more brittle than I anticipated in this particular book. So we are gonna put a chamfer board under here to give as best we can, give it a more natural lie. And we're gonna put a silicone sheet on top of that to prevent the ink from transferring to the chamfer, which I did intentionally in another experiment. You can see it look like this. So you really don't want that to happen. Then we preheat the bottom plate, as you can see that I did here. And I'm going to lift this up. I'm never going to put any part of the book directly onto these plates because they get lots of little scratches and things that can transfer to the cover. And then we're going to take this guy, put him here onto a preheated aluminum plate on the bottom. Plates, you usually want the plate to be bigger than the surface on which you're pressing it. And then I'm going to put another sheet on the top. It is just a little bit damp still, so I'm going to hold this for just a second. And then I'll push it up, and then you'll see that it will be dry to the touch, which it is. Just want to make sure it's a little bit drier. And then I'm going to put another board on top, and this prevents imperfections in the pressing plates from poking through. Then I'm going to put my top sheet on. The top sheet distributes the pressure and the heat evenly, which is nice if you don't want a wavy book or you don't want the pages to kind of curl up. And then I'm going to push this down like this. It's going to go to 165 degrees for 600 seconds. And we are going to push start. Actually, we have to wait until it gets back up to temperature because it's only 154 now. And the book and the pressing plate are heat sinks. So in a second, it's going to come right back up to 55. You'll notice in just a moment here. There it goes. It's going to quickly go up to 160. And then we'll start. And I'm going to start my timer, and I will get back to you later. So, how's it look? Well, I think it looks better. It's not really dirty anymore. This is, well, we can clean that up more. It's whiter than it was. This is pretty bad. The spine's just terrible, but we couldn't help it. It was already worn through so badly. So, I mean, it's like, it doesn't smell bad anymore either, so that's good. That was a tricky one. This was a tricky situation. So, but I think it looks better. You guys can tell me what you think. Take care. Bye-bye.